Hello, 5th grade cellos. This is song number 143 in your book, the birthday song, or as we usually just call it, Happy Birthday. This is the way it's written in your book. Now, I'm sure you're saying, oh yeah, that sounds like the birthday song, but it's not exactly right, is it? So we're going to make a few adjustments in your book. We're going to write in some additional things in here to make it sound exactly like the Happy Birthday song is supposed to sound. Okay, so cellos and basses. Let's show you what changes we're going to make to the birthday song here in your book to make it sound exactly the way the birthday song really is supposed to sound. All right? So the first thing I'm going to do is, at the beginning, we have just one D, but we need to make that two D8 notes because it's supposed to be happy birthday instead of just habber. Doesn't make much sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just squeeze in another D. So I'm going to put it on the middle line there, the note head, make my stem go down, and then I want to connect those two stems together with what we call a beam to make them look like eighth notes. Alright, so now I have two eighth note Ds. The other thing I want to do here at the beginning is we don't want to start up bow anymore because we just made it two notes instead of one. So I'm going to change that up bow to a down bow. And I just write right over the top of it. Nice and dark, and I can make that be a down bow instead of up bow. Alright, so now we've got happy birthday to you. If you're a bass player, I'm looking at a cello book right now, so ignore that 3 there. You wouldn't have a 3 for your F sharp. After this half note, then we again need to do the same thing we did at the beginning. We need to change this D into two eighth notes. So I'll squeeze in another D, put the stem going down, and connect them by a beam. Okay. In this case, the down bow that's marked here is correct, so we can leave that alone. However, on the very next measure, because we would go down, up, down, so on that E, that's not going to be an up bow anymore. We need to change that to a down bow. All right, so happy birthday to you. Now after the half note G, same thing again. I want to make that into two eighth note Ds, so I will do that. And I will add the stem, and I will beam them together. I do want to change this up bow to a down bow. So go ahead and right over top of that. Okay, so we have happy birth, and that down bow is correct. That's on the high D. You can leave that one alone. Day, dear whoever. Aha. I arrive at that E, and that needs to be a hold. We usually hold that note out longer, right? So I can do a fermata marking, we call it, where I just do a half circle, the top of a circle, and put a dot in the middle. We call that a fermata or a hold. It means to hold on to that note longer. You also might want to mark that that note will end up being a down bow. You should end up on a down bow when you get there. After that note, right after it, we want to add a bow lift. So put kind of an apostrophe or comma there for your bow lift. And that means then that the C right after that, the C natural, will also be a down bow. All right? The other thing we need to do on that C natural is that also needs to be two eighth notes, because it doesn't go happy birthday, dear whoever, happy birthday. We need happy. So we're going to do like we did with the other, in the other spots, but it's a different note, right? So to write that C up above the staff, I need to add in a ledger line first, and then I'm going to put my note head on top of that. And there's not a lot of room. You got to kind of squeeze it in. And I'll put my stem going down, and then I'll connect those two notes, and now I have two eighth note Cs. All right? So we have happy birthday. Now this slur right here, I usually don't mess around with trying to do it. It's just kind of trickier than needs to be, and we don't need to have it there. So you can cross that out. And we got happy birthday to you. Now if you'd like to add and many more, then you can just write in the letter notes, the letters for those notes, and I just put them above the end of the song there. So those notes are D, E, D, and then F natural. So I write an F, And then to make a natural sign, we are going to do kind of like a little L, and then we connect that to a 7 like that. And that's how we make a natural sign. All right, so let's go back to the beginning and review everything that we did, just to make sure you've got all the changes in there. So at the beginning, we made the quarter note D into 2 eighth notes, so we added another D there, and we changed the up bow to a down bow marking. Then after the half note F sharp, we did the same thing again on the Ds. We made it into 2 eighth notes. We left the down bow marking there, but on the very next measure, on the E, we needed to change that up bow to a down bow marking. Then, after the G half note, we again made the Ds into 2 eighth notes. So we added another note in there, and we did change that up bow marking to a down bow. Okay. The high D down bow marking is perfect. We can leave that alone. And then in the next measure, when we arrive at the E, we added a fermata or a hold above it. And we marked that we should arrive at a down bow on that note. We put a bow lift right after it. And then we marked the C natural with the down bow as well. We added another C, so we have 2 eighth notes there. And then we crossed out the slur in the second to last measure. And then finally we added and many more. D, E, D, F natural. All right, now let's see if we can play it. All right, so we made all those changes in your book, and now we've got it looking exactly right. So let's go ahead and learn how to play it. Now I want you to notice at the beginning of the song where our key signature is, I see 1 sharp, and that is for the note F. So when I come to Fs in this song, I will want to make sure I play F sharp's 3rd finger on your D string, all right? What's not there is a C sharp. So that means whenever I come to the note C in this song, it needs to be a C natural, which we do have a couple of them in the song. Remember, C natural is your A string 2nd finger, halfway between the 1st and 3rd finger tapes. All right? So let's take a stab at this. The beginning phrase simply goes 2 Ds, E, D, E, D, G, and then F sharp half note. All right, that's the first phrase. Let's try that together. Ready, and go. D, D, E, D, G, F sharp. Good. Do it again. Ready, and go. D, D, E, D, G, F sharp. Very good. If you need to, go ahead and pause the video and practice that a few more times so you've got it down. And then, moving on to the next phrase, right after that half note F sharp where we just ended, again we have D, D, E, D, but then it goes up to A, and then G half note. So let's try that phrase a couple times. Ready, and go. D, D, E, D, and G. Good, do it again. Ready, and go. Nice. And if you need to, again, go ahead and pause the video and practice that a few times till you've got that phrase down. And then moving on to the next phrase. So right after the G half note, again, I have 2 eighth note Ds. Then we're going to go all the way up to high D. So 4 fingers on your A string. Okay, and you can actually have those down before you get there. So D, D, high D. Then it skips to B, 1st finger. And then a G, pinky, and then F sharp, and then an E with a hold or a fermata on it. All right, that's the next phrase. Let's try that one together. Get your high D ready, even though we're going to play the 2 open D 8th notes first. Ready, and go. And then there's a bow lift after that. Go back to the frog. All right, let's try that phrase again. Ready, and go. Lift and set. Go ahead and pause again until you've got that phrase down. And then once you're ready to go on, here is right after the bow lift. So we're starting down bow again, and it's a C natural 2nd finger. I have 2 Cs. Then it goes B, the slur, go to G, and then A. You can keep your pinky down, and then A, or back to G rather. So you can do a little mini tunnel there on the last 3 notes. From G, A, G, you can keep at least your pinky down, or maybe a couple fingers, or maybe all 4. Doesn't really matter. So the last phrase, starting right after the bow lift on the C naturals, ready, and go. Good, try it again. Start in C natural, ready, and go. Nice. Again, go ahead and pause and practice that phrase several times till you've got it down. And then finally we have our added little phrase at the end that we wrote the letter names in for, and many more. So those notes are simply D, E, D, and F natural, second finger, halfway between the tapes. And what we often like to do on the F natural just for fun is do what's called a tremolo. So I'm going to go out in the upper half of my bow and I'm just going to wiggle with my fingers and wrist. Alright, so it will sound like this. D, E, D, F natural with the tremolo, and stop. Try it again with me, ready, and go. Alright, yes, that's it. Cool, so if you've got all the individual phrases down, then I think we're ready to try to put the entire song together. So here we go, from the beginning, all together. Get your bow on the D string. Make sure you're ready to go down bow first. Get your left hand in place so the fingers are ready to go right down on those finger tapes. Nice and curved, elbow up. And here we go. Ready and play. Half notes. Up to A. And then G. Half notes. High D coming. Here's the hold. Lift and set on a C natural. Half note and many more. Off. Awesome. So that is the Happy Birthday song, which is your pink belt. Good luck practicing.